What's going on, you beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over an advanced B-hop guide for an elite controller. This is the efficient way to do it. The other video I put up was more of a basic, and it doesn't really work as well anymore. It kind of comes to a stop after about 4 hops. This method you can just do infinitely. It is a lot harder, but it's probably the hardest thing to do on console. What I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to run through my elite controller settings and bindings, and then I'm going to run through one setting that you have to change on your Apex settings. And then once I've done that, we'll get straight into the video. I'll probably put a timestamp on the screen now, just if you want to skip those two things, but you do need to know the elite setting especially. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you drop a like down below, comment down below if it helped you, subscribe if you want to see more Apex Legends content. There's going to be a regular controller video coming out shortly, so if you have a regular controller, stay tuned for that, because that's going to be coming out in the near future. I've just got to learn to teach myself how to play with different settings, so yeah, let's get straight into the video then. So before we get into the video, I'm just going to run you through what my Xbox Elite controller settings are. As you can see on screen here, this is what I have everything mapped to. If you have an Elite controller, you know how to do this. It's literally just the Xbox accessories app. You click that, you go into your Elite controller, and you can configure everything. So this is the configuration I have with everything. I have the left and right sticks. They're set to smooth. They're actually set like one adjustment to the left of what smooth is. Mapping wise, I have my top left paddle mapped to A, my top right paddle mapped to right stick input, bottom right to X, and bottom left to up. Now I usually only play with the top left and top right, and sometimes play with the bottom right as well. Bottom left is sometimes just if I'm feeling a bit fancy. Yeah, there's not too much to talk about there. The triggers, they're usually on 100. I don't know why they're on 20 right now, but they're usually on 100. Smooth curve adjustment on both of them, and yeah, they're my buttons. So just thought I'd get that out of the way before I go into it. I will run over my settings quickly, just as there's one setting on the actual Apex Legends that you have to change to be able to do the bunny hop, but I thought I'd run through this just so you know what I'm running, otherwise it's not really going to make much sense when I'm talking about it. So the only setting you need to change for this, well, I mean, in relation to my Elite controller settings, I run button puncher, so it just swaps the right stick input with B. You can still do it with an Elite controller without on default. You can just map the right stick, which I have as top right, you can map that to B instead. So that's just that settings that you can change on your own. The only other setting you need to change is crouch. You need to change from toggle to hold. That will be explained in the near future. Okay, so the basics of the bunny hop on an Elite controller is you're going to be running constantly, you're going to be sliding constantly, and you're going to be jumping constantly. So the basics of this movement are that you could be running, sliding, jumping. To do a bunny hop in a straight line would be to run, slide, and just jump every time you land, sort of thing, while holding the slide button throughout and keeping the momentum going forward. However, that doesn't really work anymore. That's the one I've done in the other video. So to do a quick demonstration of this one, as you can see on the screen as well, all the buttons I'm pressing are coming up, which is lovely. It's a shame I can't do this on Xbox. I'm going to do this on PC with a controller. But I'm just going to run through one movement quickly. I'm not going to talk while doing it, just so you can focus on the buttons, and then I'm going to talk through the movement itself. Okay, so there's a full run through basically. It actually took me a little while to warm up and do that, so there was a couple of attempts before that you're not going to see them probably. So the important factor to do when doing a bunny hop, and what while I was warming up I just remembered that I was doing it wrong, is when you are moving left to right, there's basically a snaking motion that you can be doing rather than a straight line. Like on the right hand side of the screen right now, there'll be a little image that displays the kind of motion you're going to be doing. It's sort of like a left, right, and back like that, only to 30 degrees. If you go too far to one side or the other, it's going to stop your bunny hop completely, and you're not going to be able to do it any further. So as you can see, when I'm doing my bunny hop, the left analog stick is all the way to the left or the right. This is because if you push it forward at all, it's going to stop your bunny hop completely. So the left analog stick here has to be all the way to the left or all the way to the right. So when you're going through the movement and you're going left, it has to be all the way to the left, and when you're going right, all the way to the right, and you're going to be looking 30 degrees left and right with the bunny hop with the right stick. You can do this to go around corners, you can go all the way around the circle, but like I say, as soon as you go too far one way, it's going to stop the bunny hop. So to run you through the movement, you're going to be doing the slide, jump, and then holding the slide, obviously. I know I'm talking this a little bit hard. It is a hard movement to learn. This is one of the harder movements within the game. I wouldn't worry too much if you don't get it first time. Practice this with in-game as well. It's much better to practice in-game, as the servers are a lot nicer than the training servers, but you can be running, sliding, jumping, and then hitting that jump while hitting the movement, making sure to keep those analog sticks left and right while changing left to right with the right analog stick. It is hard to explain, but hopefully you can get an idea from the controller inputs of what I'm talking about. I'll do one more run through. So slide and jump in, holding that slide, looking left, looking right, left, right, and then see if I turn too sharply, it will cancel out the movement. So that's pretty much the basics of it. You can do this while healing as well. I would do a demonstration now. I have got some clips that I'm going to chuck up on the screen in a second, but basically how you do that is you just slide, jump, and then it's on that jump, you hit the up arrow, and then you just complete the bunny hop as you would normally. Preference for that for myself is to take my thumb off the left thumbstick and just slide it down from there onto the up arrow, rather than taking it across from the right thumbstick, because I feel like when I take my thumb back, sometimes it doesn't feel comfortable enough to do the left and right motions again. So it is just a matter of practicing. If you can just practice it in game, you'll get so much better at it. It is handy to do, handy to heal, handy to actually move away from enemies. Like, it'll really throw people off when you're bouncing around. But just remember, you can only do it on a flat surface or going down a hill. Any sort of surface that is raised will stop you from completing the movement. So I'm just going to chuck up a couple of clips, like I said, now of me healing within game and for using it within a game. And yeah, basically, don't beat yourself up too much about it. Like, if you can't do it, you can't do it, don't worry. Practice makes perfect with this, 100%. And yeah, so there's going to be a controller guide coming out for regular controllers. Basically, I'm going to be running Ninja on that, or running Claw. So I've just got to teach myself that before I do the videos for you. But that'll be linked at the end of the video once that video is uploaded. If not, I'll just put a link in the description below. But yeah, that can be expected within the next few days. If you did like this video, if it did help you out, make sure to drop a like down below. Comment if you do any other methods to this. If you have your controller settings different to my Elite settings, I'd like to know. And yeah, drop a subscribe if you're new around here. And stay tuned for more Apex Legends content. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Tell them wake up, cause you know the ship is leaving soon. And you better get on board, cause it's running out of room. And my circle getting smaller like I'm playing Fortnite. This a battle royale, never scared to take a fight. Am I a winner or a sinner, or I'm somewhere in between? Did the music slowly turn me to a money hungry fiend? Did I lose my sight of vision, getting focused on the streams? I've been trying to make it happen back when I was 17, almost 23. And I never gave up on myself, I've been working over